My name is Liza Ambrossio. I have always been clear about it. I am not a photographer. I am an artist in the global sense of the word. If it is necessary to generate levels, which is an art historian's or journalist's error, I would say that I am a conceptualist or a multidisciplinary artist who believes that art is directly dreams. And in that obsession and passion, I have been creating my universe in a highly disciplinary way, almost with the schedules of a poor and illiterate Mexican worker, on fire with fantasies and barely able to understand what happens. I constantly feel like a newcomer to a territory that is not mine. But when I present my artistic work, then is that I can truly assume the dimension of the vision that I have created. When I work, I write. I build the sculptural structures. I draw, I think, and in the end, I photograph. It is almost like an accident. It is an exercise every day. For me, the best hours of my creative life are in the early mornings. Although generally the beginning of a project is the most complex thing, because I usually think of several ideas at the same time. But once I focus on one, I succeed because of the life of my own that arises in each idea by generating its system of relationships that one must respect. Although every time I do a new project, I find it extremely mysteriously, because I am aware that I control only a tiny part of the work, and everything else is something that cannot be mentioned, while the spontaneous, the unpredictable, the magic that happens below or above my consciousness intervenes, and that is always surprised me. This is represented in the themes that I don't choose, but are imposed on me, for they arise from the indissoluble ligament life-work, work-life. My photo book, Blood Orange, arose from that scream of my memory, from something that I did, that I wrote, that I lived, that I dreamed, that lay there, much later, generating visual speculation, and caused the embryo of a story that reflects the almost Dadaist construction of the memory that fights not to be overshadowed by the destruction of a world. It is the reflection of perseverance and the triumph of fantasy that is melodramatic and lets me play with my demons. Crossed and shattered trajectories until production the skeleton of a powerful history. I'm not interested in the truth or lies. I'm interested in science, folklore, anthropology, history, life, relationships, fantasy, psychology, feminism, power, and legends that play with the imaginary world. I think a nice way to explain my way of working is a game of matryoshkas, where one story saves the next, and the next one explodes, always stripped of bone, flesh, blood, life, death, and that's why it is that I must give it everything that is in me, so that it can exist, so that it can be.